What's up? What's up? What's up? It's Maisha Edmond, licensed cosmetologist in the state of New York. I am also a certified trichologist. Super excited to be here with you this morning, August 11th, 2023. What's good? What's good? Listen, okay, I want to talk to you about 5 more things or 5 more reasons you may be struggling with the business of trichology. So if you are a trichologist, if you are somebody that is interested in trichology, if you just started, if you started a while ago and you're like, okay, I took all these classes, I've done all the things, and I'm still struggling, I have 5 more reasons why you may still be struggling with the business of trichology. A little bit of housekeeping. I'm live on Trichology_911, also live on Facebook, Maisha Edmond, Trichology 911, and also on YouTube, Maisha Edmond. Hey, lady. So I'm going to get in and I'm going to get out, right? If you know somebody that maybe you're a trichologist and you got a friend that's a trichologist and y'all like, child, what are we doing? We don't know what we're doing. We don't know where to start. I took a break and I'm not really sure how to jumpstart. Then I have some solutions for you. Yeah, I'm not going to just be talking and then offer you a class. I'm going to give you the solution. I'm going to give you, what you might need. Okay. So hopefully I am helpful to you. 5 more reasons why you may be struggling with the business of trichology. So before I even get into that, let me tell you, I was scrolling on Facebook this morning and I saw somebody that we were like in some classes together. And I saw that they had taken a different route. Now, this is the thing. When we first got acquainted, she was all about trichology. She was, doing all the things, taking the classes, getting her stuff together. And then she started doing something else. And she was trying to integrate it into trichology. The problem was, and it might be for you as it was for me when I first started, was that she didn't know how to balance them. It's like, I'm a really dope stylist, but I want to do trichology. And the stuff that I do as a stylist doesn't necessarily complement me as a trichologist, or the way that I charge doesn't, I can't charge that way as a trichologist. And then you're making the money here and it's sure because you have a clientele, but then on the trichology side, you don't really, you're kind of scared to branch out because you're like, well, I need to make the money. I need to take care of my family. I need to do this. School's about to start, blah, blah, blah. And if I just totally say, I don't do this, and this, then what happens is I risk the chance of not making the money that I need to make. And so it was a big deal. So long story medium, when I saw her, she was doing something completely different. And I was like, wow. I don't know. I guess because I love trichology, it just kind of sometimes like it's disheartening that I see people that are really, really good and they really have something to offer in the trichology space and they just kind of quit. So I was thinking about that and I said, wow, there are some more reasons why we may be struggling in the business of trichology. And that is because we don't understand the business part. We understand the treatments. We understand the ingredients. We get a protocol. We got a little, we go to a little class. We found out another way to do this and that, but we don't understand the business of it. And so number one is this. You have great info, and I'm looking down because I got notes. You have great info, but you cannot make it translate into trichology, right? You have all this great information, like this person that I saw this morning. She's with a coach that is not in the beauty industry at all, which is fine, right? If you can translate it, but sometimes you can't make that information translate. So she's trying to figure out, or you're trying to figure out, what things mean in trichology language. What does it mean in trichology language? You're saying this, but how do I translate that into what I do as a trichologist? And how can I use that information? Information can be exciting, and it's riveting, and other people in the group or in the challenge or in the in the space, they're like, oh my God, this is going to revolutionize my business. This is so great. But then when you get back home, or you get off the live, or you get off the Zoom, or you get out of the class, you're like, I don't understand it. it's cut and dry, but I still don't understand how to translate that into making sense for trichology. So with that being said, there's a lot of times that you will go elsewhere to get information and try to bring that over into trichology. But sometimes because they don't understand like the different facets of trichology, it doesn't really work. Case in point, I remember, I think it was like it was in the pandemic, and I saw this business coach, and I'm like, oh man, like I actually was in a class with her a few years ago. And so, hey, Destiny. So I was in a class with her, and I'm like, yeah, let me do a strategy session with her, right? So I paid the money, I did the strategy session, and we were in a class together actually for cranial prosthetics. And she doesn't do cranial prosthetics. She wasn't even doing hair. And what happened was when I did the strategy session with her, she was saying to me how it was impossible to make money as a trichologist and not be able to touch the actual client. Now we're in the middle of this pandemic, and I'm already teaching and mentoring other trichologists, and I know for a fact that that is not true. But she was giving me these different things and saying these different things, but what she was saying was not true. She did not understand what it was about trichology and how you could actually do trichology, right? Without seeing the client. And that happened to be a big thing, right? So it was like a whole thing. So you have this great information, you sought out somebody, and you're like, listen, they do great in business. If you're somebody that's visual, you look at their Instagram, their TikTok, it's like they dress nice, they drive nice, they live nice. They're saying it's because of their business. They have all the stuff in order. So I'm going to take this information and possibly use it, but then you get stuck because you are not able to translate it. So that's number one. Number two, another reason why you may still be struggling with the business of trichology is because what works in terms of guarantees does not work for us. Did you get what I'm saying? Right? What works in terms of guarantees don't work for us as trichologists, right? So basically, like how we close a consultation, right? We will, you look at other industries, or you look at other people that are doing other things outside of trichology, and what they are guaranteeing their clients, what they are saying will work for sure, what they're saying is a solution, is foolproof, and all those things we cannot say. I cannot promise you that I'm going to grow your hair back. But I can promise you that if you do the things that I'm telling you to implement, it's going to increase your quality of life as it relates to your hair growth, as it relates to your scalp, as it relates to overall health, stress relief, and hair is the healthy side effect. So if you would absolve yourself from the responsibility of trying to prove to somebody that you could grow their hair back, and you let them know that these things that you're going to do, they do help to support hair growth, right? Because we under promise and we over deliver, right? It's going to support that. It's going to help you, get this under control and help this and that. But when you make certain guarantees, especially like in consultation, right? So I remember when I first did consultation, and it was like, I wanted people to trust me so much that I'm just like, okay, like I'm going to grow your hair back. This is it. This is what I'm going to be doing. This is what's going on. And it was like, not that they didn't get results, but the way that I hyped it without the right information, and not understanding that I could do all the things, but if they don't do things as well, then it's not going to work because I'm complimenting the things that they do internally. And so it was just like a mess for me because I was just like really hard on myself, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is not really I'm not living up to what I'm guaranteeing. So what works in terms of guarantees doesn't necessarily work for us. We have to know the science. We have to know what's going on with the client, their lifestyle, their eating habits, and all those different things. Okay. Number 3, sometimes we just need a blueprint. Right. So one of the reasons why you may be struggling with the business of trichology is because you do not have a blueprint. Right. It kind of ties in with number 1, because you have the great information, but you can't translate it. But what if you translate the information, but you don't know where to put it? So you know what they're saying, but you don't know how to do it. You may need a blueprint. You may need a step-by-step direction that will work for you. So if I'm saying, girl, just start your business. Like, sir, start this trichology practice, do this, do that, right? But I just say, you got everything you need, and I walk away. You're going to be like, okay, so what was it that I needed? But if I say, okay, so the first thing you want to do is look at your onboarding. After you do your onboarding, within that, you want to ask these questions. After you do that, you're going to move the client to this. You're going to do this, this, and this. After you do these things, you're going to offer them this. You offer these 3 things. After you offer these 3 things, then this is how you're going to conduct your treatments. And then as you're conducting your treatments, the first 2 weeks will be this. The next 6 weeks will be this. You know what I'm saying? Having a full blueprint so that you can wash, rinse, and repeat. So you think that trichology is not working for you, but the business of it is not working for you because you don't have a outline. You don't have a blueprint. You know all the things to do. You just don't have a way to pull it off. Number 4, you're not clear on how to fuse what you're great in at the salon with trichology, right? So that you can maximize your pull, right? Or your influence. So you may be a really, really awesome extension specialist, right? You may do wigs like nobody's business. But you may do silk presses and they are like absolutely amazing, like lines wrapped around the corner. But now you're like, you know what? I want to kick this up a notch and I want to offer healthy hair care. I want to be a trichologist. I really want to go into this thing. And you're like tossed up because it's like, okay, how do I fuse this thing that I'm really, really good at and I'm known for with trichology? And so when you can get a clear outlook on who you are as a trichologist, who you want to serve, and if those people are still the people that you are currently serving, but you notice that they're coming to you for extensions because they have hair loss, and you're able to do something with that. Now you can come up with some kind of an offer that will allow these clients to still get the extensions, but do it in a way that's more healthy, that involves treatments, instead of just doing your regular maintenance, like you involve a treatment or some kind of a regimen for the client, so that while their hair is protected or in these extensions, that you're still able to infuse, that trichology portion. So that's really good. All right. And number 5, 5th reason why you may still be struggling, right? With your trichology business is sometimes those outside of the industry cannot relate, right? So it confuses you, right? Knowing your options and how you can, in fact, be effective in both the physical and virtual space, right? So like I said before about that business coach that I did a strategy session with, knowing, okay, well, am I able to be effective virtually? What if the world shuts down again? Am I able to do certain things? How can I take this one thing that I'm able to do, let's say trichology, and flip it 5 ways? What are the 5 ways? I don't know. Maybe I'm going to have a book, and then I'm going to have some products, and then I'm going to have some in-person services, and then I'm going to have some virtual services, and then I'm going to have some classes, right? So am I able to take this and, like a prism, if you know what a prism is, right? Like a a gem, right? Where the way you turn it, you'll see different colors. Can you turn what you do in trichology and see different ways to help somebody else? And so if you can't, then you really need to just look at trichology again, who you are as a trichologist, who you want to serve, your demographic, and all those things. So those were the 5 more reasons you may still be struggling with the business of trichology. And if that's you and you need some extra help, go ahead and DM me. Let me know, Maisha, help. I need some help. I need some help with setup. I need some help with, I want a mentor, whatever like that. All those things are available. All right. So that was it. Have a great day today, and